What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. My name is Luke. I'm based out of Southeast Minnesota, and folks, I got a treat for you today. Today, we are not going to be on the water. We're going to be in my humble abode, my crappy workshop that I just moved into. Well, not the workshop. I moved into a new house, and this is the workshop that came with it. As you can see behind me, this place is a freaking mess. But folks, I want to talk to you person to person, me, you, me. I want to walk you guys through my 2024 setup. My kayak, my tackle, my rods and reels, pretty much everything that gets me on the water. And folks, before we get started diving into all my nitty gritty, my gear, my kayak, my tackle, all that good stuff, I want to get a couple kind of macro level bullet points out of the way before we get started. Number one, I have no sponsors. Everything you see in this video today is mine. I bought it with my own money, or someone gave it to me, a friend of mine, whatever the case might be. But no companies have given me this stuff. I have no paid partnerships, nothing. So I can talk good, I can talk bad, I can talk however I want about this stuff. And like most of y'all can probably relate, I mean, we work a 9 to 5, it's hard work, but we like to spend our money, and we like to spend our money on fishing gear. Number two is this stuff you see in today's video, folks. This isn't necessarily what I'm gonna have all season, right? I go through stuff, I buy new stuff, I get rid of stuff, I might break something, I might switch something out, a new trolling motor, a new rod and reel, whatever the case might be. What you see in today's video is not necessarily a guarantee, something that I'm gonna be using all year. That's just how it goes. Life happens, we move stuff around, we buy stuff, we sell stuff, whatever the case might be. This is not the definite answer to all the stuff I'm gonna have for this year. So I wanted to clear that up, get that out of the way. Now, let's get to the good stuff. Another one. Another big one too. We're gonna kick this off, folks, with my rod and reel combos. These are gonna be my day-to-day rod and reels that I use. You guys probably see them one way or another in my videos, whether I'm going for trout, whether I'm going for bass, whatever the case might be. This is basically my day-to-day arsenal that I'm using. And folks, I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start off from my lightest combos and work my way up to my heaviest combos. And again, these are my day-to-day rods and reels. I have a ton of rods and reels that are in storage, that are behind you guys. They're all over the place, but I don't use those a whole lot. Starting out the gate, folks, we're gonna do ultralight / BFS. Now, BFS, that is an interesting combo dealio that I never even had until just recently. In fact, I dropped my first BFS video just a couple of weeks ago. I'll leave a link in the description if you guys want to check that video out. So to kick stuff off here, this is going to be where we start, kind of the lightest of the light. This is a Shimano Corrado BFS XG. And I have that reel paired to a Phenix Feather. This is the FTX series, which is Feather series. This is a 7-foot light action. This is basically the lightest of light, but we're talking pool noodle all the way. It's not truly technically a BFS rod, but it has been working for my needs. So still making some content with this, just trying to get used to it, get a feel for it, and really understand what BFS is all about, because I'm a newbie. I'm a rookie when it comes to that BFS stuff, and this is kind of my entry-level access point to get into BFS. Moving on, we have ourselves another Phenix Feather rod. This is a super light combo, but it's one of my favorites for trout fishing specifically, and crappie, bluegill, crappie, trout. The reel here is a Daiwa Fuego. This is the LT 1000D, and I have that paired to the Phenix, which is again the FTX series. This is a Phenix Feather. This is a 6'9" medium action. This is a super light, super sensitive combo. I love it. It works for trout, it works for crappie. I can throw this around, I can feel every little movement. It is just an absolute amazing combo. And if you guys are already getting the hint here with my rod selection, you guys are going to realize pretty quickly that Phenix Rods is a amazing rod company. Again, not sponsored, not endorsed by them, but I love their stuff. We're going to see some more of the Phenix rods here as we move along, but already at the gate, you guys can see my two lightest combos I have, both of them are Phenix Feather rods. Oh my God. That was so cool. That was so freaking cool. Come here, bud. Come here, bud. Go ahead and let this dude go. Thanks for playing, beautiful guy. See you later. I actually have another one. This is a little bit bigger. This is a little bit of a step up from that spinning combo you guys just saw. This right here is the Daiwa Fuego LT 2500 XH. A little bit bigger than that 1000, holds a nice amount of line. I have 8-pound test on here, which by the way, all my spinning combos, if they're not a ultralight combo, I just run 8-pound test. 8-pound test is really my baseline for spinning combos. I use mono, sometimes fluoro, but mostly mono. I don't run leaders. I don't do any of that stuff unless I'm fishing for pike and I need something thicker on the end. Otherwise, it is straight mono or a hybrid or a fluoro. And that's what I use for line. And then this one is a little bit heavier action, but it's still technically on the same playing field as that previous one I just showed you guys. This is a Daiwa Tatula. This one right here is a 610 medium action. It is a sweet rod. It's a little bit heavier than the Phenix Feather in the sense that I can throw heavier baits on it and it doesn't feel like it's totally out of whack. I still have that hefty backbone. I've got perfect sensitivity. I mean, it's a great rod. I prefer the Phenix Feather over the Tatula, but sometimes when I'm throwing those heavier baits, I'll just move up to that Tatula, and it is a freaking godsend. And paired up to the Tatula, we have another Daiwa Fuego. This is, again, I want to say it's a 2500. Yes, it is the LT 2500D XH, basically the exact same one as the one I just showed you guys. You guys are probably already starting to notice the trend here with my spinning reels. That would be an accurate statement if you guys are thinking that. I'll tell you guys what, the Daiwa Fuego reels are freaking phenomenal. I've had a lot of expensive reels, I've had cheap reels, and I've found a great in-between with the Daiwa Fuego. It's not going to break the bank. In fact, I got these on, I think it was $100 on sale, maybe 105, 110. So really not a whole lot of money for what you're getting. You're getting a lot of different attributes from the higher end Daiwa reels, also some of the cheaper parts, of course, but they're that freaking good, folks. No kidding. Kick it off. Casting rods. This is a combo that I put together just recently within the last year, and I'm still kind of getting used to it, trying to understand what the best tactics I could use for it are. And this is another shocker. Phenix Feather, I'm not kidding. This is a 7-1 medium heavy Phenix rod. Awesome casting rod. Nice long handle. It's super lightweight, hence the name Feather. It literally feels like a feather. You can throw these all day long and you're not going to get fatigue. And really the price point for these and why I have them is because they're pretty cheap for what you're getting. And what do I have on that rod? Well, I'll show you. This is the Daiwa Zillion SVCW 7-1 gear ratio. So it's not the fastest, not the slowest, which is what I wanted. I don't want a crazy burner and I don't want a crazy slow power one. I want a medium in between where I can throw a little bit of everything. Spoons, swim baits, jigs, whatever it might be. The 7-1 is a great in between, so you can kind of knock off all the different styles in which you want to fish. For line on this one, it is 12-pound test mono. This will be more of a smaller profile swim bait, spoon, whatever the case might be, but great combo there. Let's move on to my jigging combo. This is a awesome platform. I've had this exact setup now for a few years, and it's that good, folks. I can't get out of my rotation. I can't escape it, and I also just love it. It is a freaking workhorse. It works for jigs, works for Ned rigs, it works for hair jigs. This is gonna be it for me, folks. This is a Phenix, shocker, Phenix Maxim. This is a 610 medium heavy. For line on this one, I have 15-pound test, because again, I'm throwing jigs, I'm throwing a little bit bigger baits. I want to make sure I'm not breaking off on every single freaking fish. And the reel, folks, we have another Daiwa. This is the TWS SV. This is 8-to-1 gear ratio. And like I said, it is a freaking workhorse. I can burn it, I can reel in. If I'm in the current and I throw a little Ned rig or a jig, I can burn that back in. I can cast it back where I need to go. And the tip on this Maxim, it's got a super light tip. This is kind of that all-around finesse jig style casting freaking combo. Moving on, folks. let's move on here to another one of my casting combos. This is probably one of my favorite combos because it just catches me fish. I don't know what it is about this freaking combo, but it catches me fish and I love to use it. It is a phenomenal setup. So this is a Daiwa Tatula 610 casting. It is, I believe, a medium heavy. Yep, it's a medium heavy. That's pretty much my standard for casting rods. And I have that paired with the Daiwa Tatula SV Limited. This is kind of a weird one-off reel that Daiwa really only made a handful of. It should be technically in a box, in a case somewhere, but I'm not that kind of guy. I buy something to use it, and that's no different for this one here. But it's cool because you basically have a Daiwa Tatula reel with some extra goodies that you're not going to find on really any other Daiwa factory spec reel that you get. You got that nice chrome aluminum look on the side, and then on the other side for the handle, you get freaking carbon fiber with the see-through grips. Pretty cool, pretty nifty. Takes a little bit getting used to the feel of the handles and kind of maneuvering that. But outside of that, once you dial this in, folks, this is a freaking combo. I got 12-pound test on there now. I think it's a mono hybrid line as well. And this is a all-duty purpose casting rod. I can use this for finesse, jigs, Ned rigs, whatever it might be if I absolutely have to. But where this rod and reel really shines is moving baits. So I have right here a jerkbait on it now. This is a Vision 110 Junior by Megabass. And the reason why I like this rod so much for moving baits, swim baits, again, jerk baits, whatever it might be that's moving, it's got a stiffer backbone. This is not going to be something that's flimsy. This is going to be something that you can whip out a big swim bait, you can whip out a jerk bait, whatever it might be, and you can work that back however you need. Again, we'll use that jerk bait for an example. When I'm out there throwing this on this rod, I can throw that out and I don't feel weird. When you go to do that jerky motion, you guys know some of those rods you use, they're so flimsy that you're like, hey, I can't even feel what's going on. I don't know what's happening. All I know is my rod is bent over 45 degrees and I just feel like I'm reeling in a wet sock every freaking time. But with a rod like this, folks, you can throw jerk baits, you can throw those bigger swim baits, those bigger moving baits, and it just feels right. You know when you pick up a combo and you throw out a bait and it just feels right. You retrieve it in and you're like, man, it just feels smooth, it feels good. I don't feel like I'm underpowered, I don't feel like I'm overpowered. It's just that one all-duty combo that if the world came crashing down tomorrow and you could only grab one combo, which one are you grabbing? I'm grabbing this one. There's one. That's a big fish. That's a big fish. Oh my god. That's a giant. That's a giant on the bladed jig. That's a nice fish, y'all. That is a nice fish. Okay, maybe not a giant, but he hit it pretty hard. Oh my goodness. Let's freaking go. Nice healthy bass. Here we go, buddy. And now we get to the big dogs. Well, I say big dogs, but they're not giant. I mean, these are just more for bigger swim baits, bigger blade baits, pike fishing, all that good stuff. I'm gonna start off with the one that is kind of below the last one I'm gonna show you guys. But this one right here, this is a Fenwick HMG. Let me see if what is this? This is a 7-foot medium heavy fast action. But I do love this rod quite a bit. It is becoming one of my go-tos for bigger baits. And I have that paired with a Daiwa. This is a Daiwa Tatula 300, 7-to-1 gear ratio. Again, a good in-between for me. For baits like this, I can really scoop up the slack. I can keep pace. I can do well in current. The line on here is 20-pound test. Again, this is a mono hybrid, I believe. That's just one of my go-tos. I love using that kind of line. This reel would probably be one of my favorite reels if it didn't have an issue with the thumb release. There is something going on. I believe it is the spring action that kind of loads up when you click that button and you cycle it through, you click it, cycle it through. There are moments where that will disengage and it won't engage again. You have to actually manually push it up to engage and continue to reel. So if I get that fixed, and I will at some point, this will be probably one of my all-time favorite reels. It is a workhorse. You can throw big swim baits, big glide baits. You can throw freaking anything. A-rigs, Whatever you want, this reel is capable of it. But what I love about it is it still feels like a low profile reel. Besides the oversized handles, you don't feel like you're holding on to a freaking tank. It feels like a tank for sure. It is a big, heavy duty built reel, but it still has that profile that makes you feel like you're just bass fishing. Like it's any other day, and you can basically throw this around all day without getting sore, which I freaking love. So again, this combo is for more of that smaller, but yet still pretty big bait combos here. Like for example, I got a river to sea glide bait or something like this. This is a Storm Arashi. Something a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier, an ounce above. And last but not least, folks, this is like the top of the top for me, the heaviest duty I have for bass fishing or pike fishing. This is kind of the one-all be-all in terms of throwing the biggest baits, the craziest actions, whatever the case might be. This is that duty workhorse. And we will start off with the rod. This is a 13 fishing black omen or omen black. And this one here is a 7-1 medium heavy fast action, but it's got a freaking bulletproof gosh dang chassis. This is a brick of a blank. It's very solid, hardly any bend. I mean, you gotta really be pulling on that to get any bend out of this rod. And I've got that paired up with a Abu Garcia Ambassador. This is a 6500 C3, and this one is cool because it's actually made in Sweden. I got this from my father-in-law who passed away about 10 years ago, and he had this for, I don't know, many, many years. But this is cool because it's made in Sweden. You're getting a lot more premium features in this. It's just heavy duty, reliable. I really don't do anything in this reel and it works great. I can cast it well, I can retrieve it well, I can hook into stuff well. It is a workhorse reel and it just keeps kicking. I can't get it to stop. Anything that's too big where I'm just like, you know what, I feel underpowered, I need to move to something bigger, this is what I will pick up, and it is a freaking awesome, awesome combo. So there you have it for the rods and reels, folks. My day-to-day rotation. You got the BFS, you got the smaller spinning, you move up and spinning, you move up and spinning, you go, okay, casting, cool, move a little bit up, move a little bit up, ooh, that's big up, and then that's big up. This is top to top. So kind of working down, working through. This is what you guys will see in my videos day to day. These are just, again, the workhorses. They're in the rotation, and they are freaking phenomenal combos. Oh my God, that was awesome. He absolutely wrecked it on the swim bait. Let's go. Ooh, he's got a big cut on him too. That's probably from a bigger pike, I would say. What do you guys think? It's got to be from a bigger pike. Okay, buddy, I'm gonna let you go. 1 sec. So before I give you guys a full tour and I do kind of a first person point of view walk around of what I have going on here, I figured I would just explain to you what I have for the kayak itself. This right here, folks, is a NuCanoe Unlimited, and I'll read you guys the specs on what this kayak is all about. So the length from bow to stern is 12 feet 6 inches. It's 41 inches wide, which is super wide, and a big reason why I have a NuCanoe. The hull weighs 84 pounds, and the max weight it can hold is 650 freaking pounds. Once again, that's another reason why I'm a big NuCanoe person. I love the idea that it's customizable however you want to customize your boat. I use boat, but kayak. You can do that with the NuCanoe. For any of you guys who are maybe bigger, maybe a little bit heavier or a little bit taller, this is a kayak that will work for you guys because of that freaking weight capacity. It just blows my mind. It blows my mind that a plastic freaking kayak can hold 650 freaking pounds. That's crazy. And of course, the width of this makes it super stable. Folks, I don't know if I can even describe to you how stable this kayak is. And even before this kayak, I had a NuCanoe F10, which is a 10-footer. It's still wide, but it's super short compared to this one, obviously. And even that kayak felt like I was in a freaking jumbo. I mean, you can stand up no problem. You can walk up and down the front of your kayak or behind you. It is just an absolutely epic platform. And again, I'm not sponsored by NuCanoe. I wish I was. That'd be freaking awesome. But this kayak just, it does everything I needed to do and more, and it works for really any application. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and do a freaking walkthrough. Starting up at the front, this is a MotorGuide XI3 pinpoint with the GPS. This thing is freaking awesome. You click this button here, And I'll drop this down ever so slightly. You get a picture of kind of what this bow-mounted trolling motor looks like. It's pretty freaking cool. We don't want to use it, you just put it back up. And this is sitting on a base plate that was installed before I bought this kayak. The previous owner had this installed. So it locks in right here on this base plate. It's not going to go anywhere once you lock it in. It's pretty freaking handy. And then it's actually powered right here. Right here is the power connector. You just connect this into here, and you got yourself some freaking power. And this wire in here is running through the kayak all the way to the back, and we'll get to the back here in a second. Moving on down here, we got an open platform. This is my paddle. I use the NuCanoe paddle. It's not the best paddle. If you guys have NuCanoe or you're thinking about getting a NuCanoe, just do not get the NuCanoe paddle. It's tempting because it's fairly cheap and it is long enough to accommodate you on these bigger kayaks. But I go through at least one of these a year. I mean, they're just not made to last. NuCanoe customer service is great. I do appreciate them. They will send you a new one if it's under that warranty, but they break all the time. And you know, if you spend a little bit more money, and you probably won't ever have to worry about getting another paddle in your entire life, as long as you have a kayak and you don't lose or break the paddle itself. But just an FYI. But I keep this whole section open for the most part because I do have a dog. I actually have two dogs now, a golden retriever and a black lab / golden retriever. They fit perfectly right in this general area, sometimes even back in here, and they'll just kind of hang out. They'll put their head over the railing, they'll lay down, they'll sleep, they'll eat a stick or bone, whatever the case might be, but they are pretty comfortable up front. And then as we kind of move down here, stuff starts to change a little bit. So with the NuCanoe Unlimited, at least, you get these side pockets that are kind of implemented in the kayak mold itself. This is just for, you know, terminal tackle. I use this for all kinds of goodies. You know, when you're out there and you're trying to change up baits and you're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. That's what these are for me. On this side, I have more of a tool aspect. I got some grippers there. I got some leader line. I got some of those mouth grips for pike in case you get a pike that you got to get a bait out of their throat. That's pretty handy. The thing about these kayaks, and it's pretty much every kayak on the market, they don't have very good padding for your feet. And if you stand up a lot like me while you're fishing, feet fatigue is a real freaking thing, and your feet will freaking hurt like crazy if you're not wearing the proper shoes or boots, whatever the case might be. And not even that, just after a long day, standing up, sitting down, standing up, you want to have that cushion. And I didn't have that cushion, so you can take this right out. And if you don't have that cushion, it's just basically the mold itself. And although it works and it's fine, I needed to upgrade, and so I just took one of those cool little flooring pieces you get in a workout kit, you know, for like a home gym or whatever the case might be. I cut it up a little bit just to fit the dimensions of the kayak, and I just laid it in, and it's been great. Next to that, I have a 5-pound dumbbell. I got this from like one of those cheap, goofy stores that you see where everything's like $1 or whatever. This wasn't $1, unfortunately. It was like $5-6, but well worth it. This is my anchor system I use for now. If I don't have the trolling motor, which has spot lock and all that, I will use this, and I just drop it down. It's on a carabiner on the rail system, so it's not going anywhere. This is all screwed in. This is pretty heavy duty. But basically what I do is I just throw it over the edge, let that unbungee itself, and we got ourselves a makeshift anchor. Works great for those windy days, or if you just want to kind of take a breather, if you're in a little bit of current, whatever the case might be, an anchor system is primo. Moving to the seat here. This is one of those super cheapy, Walmart special seats that it came with the kayak itself. In fact, I actually do have the original NuCanoe seat for this kayak, and I used it for a long time, and this was the secondary one because this can be a tandem kayak, because as you can see, you know, you can move the seat up and down as far as the tracks go, which is pretty freaking cool. But I had the NuCanoe seat on here, and one day I was looking at this one in the garage, and I thought, man, what would this feel like on the kayak? So I put this on, and folks, it is game changing. It really is. It is way better than the factory seat that NuCanoe has. It just fits my body more. It's super comfortable. And some days I will have a cushion I'll put on here. It's just a removable cushion I can put on and off. But I really don't sit that much. I'm standing, I would say 80% of the time when I'm out fishing out of my kayak. And the cool thing about NuCanoe as well that I forgot to mention, and it's another big factor why I love these kayaks, is the seat is 360 degrees. You can turn this bad boy, and if you want to go back here and look at your tackle, or I don't know, do whatever you want to do, you can turn the seat, do what you need to do back here, and then you can kind of flip it back around and you're back to fishing or navigating, whatever you want to do. So that's pretty handy if you want to do that. Back here we have a fairly standard procedure outline here. We have a GoPro mount. This is just a traditional Yak Attack mount I use for my GoPro, so you guys kind of get that point of view that's facing this area here while I'm fishing. Over here I have a net holder. This is just a rod holder technically. It's a Yak Attack product, but I use it for a net. It's pretty handy. I can reach back behind me when I catch a fish. I can reach back, I can grab that net. It's right there, accessible, and I can net those fish as soon as they come to the side of the kayak. Moving over to the far edge here, we have a cup holder. This is another Yak Attack product. I don't use this for drinks really. I use it more for pliers, scissors, extra baits that I just want to tuck away, put away, keep out of the main general area where I'm fishing. That little cup holder is perfect for really everything that you want to put in. It can be for drinks, it can be for tackle, it can be for your tools, it can be for freaking anything. And we keep on moving back down. We have ourselves a milk crate. This is just a general freight for all my stuff, whether it's baits, whether it's drinks, whether it's GoPro stuff, whatever the case might be, this will hold that stuff in. I have a little makeshift rod tube holder. I bought this as one piece. I think it was from Fleet Farm, either Fleet Farm or Shields, one of those places, and I literally just zip tied it. I zip tied it to the milk crate, and it's perfect. It holds my 3 main rods I use wherever I'm at. I typically always have 3 rods, so they fit there. And this was tucked back here if I'm not using the battery or the trolling motor, and that gets to my next point. And as you guys just saw, that trolling motor up there's a plug, and those wires run through the hole on this side, and it comes out right freaking there. So it comes out right there, and then you got your standard connector here for the battery. So I have a battery. It's a Dakota Lithium 54 amp hour lithium battery, and I put that here in a battery case, and it just plugs right into this, and that is it, folks. That is literally it. It is as simple as 1, 2, 3. I'll use these straps, strap in the battery just to make sure if I flip over. I don't really care about my tackle if I flip over like this stuff as much as I care about a battery. Those batteries are not cheap, and I would hate to lose it. I will tell you what. So the battery goes here, plugs in here, and then back here, there's really nothing. I don't even use this storage hatch. There's nothing to this. I don't even open it. It's just kind of hanging out there. Got my wheels. I'm gonna upgrade these at some point here with like a Yak Attack system, something that's a little bit more robust, and I can put it underneath the kayak besides being behind it. But folks, that is it for the freaking kayak. I know it's pretty boring. There's not a whole lot going on, but that's kind of how I am with the kayak. I have the trolling motor for those days where I'm out there and in the backwaters or in a major river or somewhere where I'm like, I need some freaking power. Otherwise, it is just me and my paddle, and we're paddling around and we are freaking catching fish. I've been running this similar setup on this kayak for about a year now, since I bought this setup from the gentleman who had it last. And to be honest, folks, I really don't plan on changing a whole lot for 2024. Between having the trolling motor and then the paddle, if I'm out like in a small river or in the backwaters, I really don't need a whole lot. And the way I fish, the stuff I do, I don't need a whole lot. I really don't need a lot to get on the water and catch fish. I have my spots. I have areas where I go where I feel confident enough I can just get out there with my kayak and start casting away. So probably nothing new for 2024 on the kayak itself. It'll be small things, probably maybe a new net or a Yak Attack mount. It'll be something else, but fish finders and all that, I probably won't get that this year either. Maybe live scope. You know what? I can't rule out live scope, especially for ice fishing. I don't know, folks. I may get live scope here at some point, but until that point, I'm not going to bother with electronics. Nothing else excites me. I'm not going to get side imaging. I'm not going to get any of that stuff. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to get the cream of the crop. I'm going to get either the Garmin Live Scope or the Lowrance system. I know they have one similar to Garmin, and even Humminbird. I know they have something as well that is pretty similar to the Garmin Live Scope setup. Another one. No way. Dude, they are freaking stacked in here. That's a better size one too. Hold on, bud, hold on. Oh, yep. That's a nice sized pike. Now that kind of leads us into the next topic here, which is apparel. Now, when I'm on the kayak, depending on the season, which to be honest with you folks, I'm on the kayak basically all 4 seasons. Whether it's wintertime, as long as we have open water somewhere on the river or a lake, wherever the case might be, I will certainly be on the freaking kayak. But summertime, fall, spring, you know, those are the primo months where we're on our kayaks or on our boats. Now I'm going to start this off with the warm weather apparel. Not that it's really that important right now because we're basically heading into May now. We're in May actually, and we're about to be summer fishing here before we know it. So I won't spend a ton of time on my warm weather gear I use for the kayak, but basically what it comes down to this. A sweatshirt. Sometimes I will wear a big jacket like this one here. This is a striker jacket. And folks, I'll even wear the big bibs. This is my ice fishing gear, by the way. But sometimes on that kayak, when it's super early season or super late season, it gets cold. You guys know, you guys are on the kayak or on the boat. There are a lot of days out there where it is freaking freezing. So I'm never afraid to put on bibs or a big jacket. Obviously a sweatshirt. Now when it gets a little bit warmer, but it's still kind of not summer like where we're in right now in that early May, late April. We're still kind of cold, but also starting to warm up a little bit. What I like to do, I will wear pants like this. Now these specific ones, these are the Shield Outfitters. These are like a waterproof based pant, but they're very light, a little bit breathable. And I like these because A, keeps the water off of me. It keeps me dry when I'm paddling or if I catch a fish, whatever the case might be. And then it also just keeps me away from the elements. It's still cold enough where I don't want that air to penetrate my legs and get me freaking freezing. This will keep that wind off and, you know, again, keep the elements away. And with those pants or any other type of pant material I'm using for that specific day, these are my go-to boots I use, again, during the colder months where the water's cold, the air temperature is cold, and I just, you know, I want to be warm. I want to stay bundled up a little bit. These are the NRS Boundary Water boot, fully insulated, goes up to your calf, or depending on your legs, it may stop anywhere, shape or form, but you can roll them over if you need to. You can kind of customize these how you want, but super warm. They're fully waterproof all the way through. I know sometimes it looks kind of weird. It looks like a tennis shoe on the bottom, but fully waterproof all the way through the boot, and got good grip on the bottom there, so you can kind of move around how you want on your boat, on your kayak, whatever the case might be, and they freaking work. And once it warms up enough to where it's just basically summertime, folks, there's no magic to that. I wear either my regular shoes, I'll wear sandals. Sometimes I'll go barefoot on the kayak itself. I try not to go barefoot when I'm filming because I don't want to gross people out. You know, feet are kind of a weird thing for people. So I try not to, you know, put my bare feet in the camera angles during the summertime. But I'll wear sandals or, you know, tennis shoes. Nothing fancy. Shorts, I wear shorts a lot. And for shirts, honestly, folks, I'm either wearing a t-shirt or I'm wearing a sun shirt. You know, one of those shirts that it's long sleeve, it covers all your extremities, but it also provides some cooling during those hot months. Always wearing a hat, of course. I wear ball caps all the time. If you guys watch my videos, you probably know. I don't know if I even have one video on my channel that I'm not wearing a hat. I have longer hair too, so it kind of helps keep that hair out of my eyes, and I can focus on fishing. Giant smallmouth. Giant smallmouth. Yep. There's another one with them. Hold on. I'm not in Minnesota, so I can technically use 2 poles. I just saw a giant with them. Hold on, there he is. Got him! Oh, dude, I'm doubled. That is so awesome. Here, let's get this guy done first because he's got a jig. Hold on. Easy peasy, that jig is getting it done. Let's go, that's awesome. That's a nice fish. Oh, that is a nice freaking fish. Woo, let's go. All right, folks, we are at the end of the video. The last part I want to talk to you guys about is my tackle. More specifically, what I keep my tackle in, and also what kind of tackle I use and what I will be using as we move into 2024. So just to kick this off, I'll show you guys what I have for my tackle bag. And this has become, I'll be honest with you guys, my staple tackle bag for the kayak and for bank fishing over the last year. I've experimented with so many different tackle bags, different types of backpacks. And folks, I'm gonna be honest with you, the one bag I went back to and I just thought, you know what, this freaking fits my needs, it will work, is a regular standard North Face backpack. This is the backpack you see kids wearing. This is a high school backpack. This is for a professional who's maybe going into the office with a laptop. Literally nothing special, no fishing specific cool features about this. It is just a plain old backpack. It's got enough pockets where I can put not only my tackle box that has all my, you know, basic jigs and things of that nature, all my main stuff in here, which we'll get to that in a second, but it has enough pockets to put soft plastics in, other hard baits that I want to take with me on any specific day. It's got outer pocket storage for my fish scale, for my large knife, for things of that nature, and then it's got even a couple more pockets inside of that even more. I'll show you. That really houses every single little itsy bitsy piece of the puzzle here that you could ever think of. I have all kinds of little micro finesse stuff. I've got leader stuff. I've got swivels. I've got swim bait heads. Just a bunch of random crap. That main tackle box that I carry with me day to day, whether I'm in the kayak or bank fishing, is just a standard flambeau tackle box. It's got basically a little bit of everything. Over the last couple of years, I've really tried to downsize and minimize what I'm using, being a little bit more aware of how much I'm spending on tackle, and just coming to terms with reality. Like, how much am I actually using? You know, how much stuff am I really going to be going through day to day where I'm like, oh, I need to get this, I need to get that. And folks, 2024 is no different. I will be continuing the trend. This will be my single main tackle box. I've got jigs, I've got Ned heads, I've got some jerk baits, I've got some, you know, good old fashioned bucktail jigs, some spinners, blade baits. I got the basics. This kind of covers every single base for the season we're in now. I may switch it up. Maybe if we move into summertime, I'll add more jigs. I'll add more of something else. But this is pretty much the standard. I keep it this way almost all year round, and it works. It works for me. I'll show you guys where my other tackle goes. This is another just simple, I don't even know the brand of this one, probably a Plano, but this is just another random tackle box, and this one has my bigger baits, pike baits, things of that nature that don't fit in the traditional, you know, tackle box. This is where those bigger baits go. So really just these two plastic containers are really all I use throughout the year, whether I'm going after pike, whether I'm going after bass, walleye, whatever the case might be. Those two are always with me in some way, shape, or form. As for my soft plastics, because you guys know if you watch my videos, I'm a huge soft plastic guy myself. There's really not a whole lot going on here with my soft plastics. I have it kind of mapped out per baggie. I have one baggie that has just some random specific technique style baits. This one right here, this is my actual Ned rig bait container. This has all Ned rig baits in it, big, small. It's in here. This last one here has swim baits, you know, things that don't really fit in a normal Ned rig or other soft plastic category. So just kind of a weird assortment of bigger swim baits, some bottom baits. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, these are pretty cool. Savage Gear bluegills. Those get freaking munched, by the way. But yeah, a bunch of random soft plastics in there. And I do have a couple more of these baggies laying around somewhere around either the workshop or in the car, I don't know, somewhere. But I have a couple more of these that have like trailers. One of them has just soft plastic trailers, crawdad trailers, things like that. And then another one is just for other smaller swim baits. And I know this looks super janky, kind of rednecky, but folks, it works for me. It's easy to use. I know where stuff is. I can pull it out. I can use it. And there's really not a whole lot of time wasted. I can pick what I need. I put it on the hook, throw it out, and we are freaking fishing. But folks, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm about to lose my voice. I'll be totally honest with you. I'm having so much fun talking to you guys that I'm now realizing that I'm literally about to lose my voice. But I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Again, this is not a concrete cement picture of what my 2024 gear will look like, but it really is 98% complete in terms of what you guys are going to see, at least for the immediate 6 months down the road. And folks, I don't know about you, but I am excited for 2024. A lot of cool stuff planned, a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipes. I'm going to be going north more, up into northern Minnesota, the Boundary Waters, Mille Lacs, all these cool places that I've wanted to go to, but just have not made it happen. So if you're new here, I appreciate you guys tuning in for the first time. Hopefully you stick around. I make a ton of fishing content, and if you have been around for a while, I appreciate you. I love you guys so much. Anyone who supports my channel, and I know who you guys are. You guys continue to show love in the comments. You guys shoot me messages on Instagram, on Facebook. I love it all. And really, truly, guys, any questions, any concerns, I am your guy. Do not hesitate. Like I said, reach out. Let me know what's going on, how you're doing, where you're at. Any questions you have on the kayak, any questions you have on the trolling motor. Guys, I'm an open book. I will tell you everything as it comes, as it is. And I love y'all. I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace!